This is the Audi Q6 e-tron. It's the German brand's latest take on the electric vehicle formula. Slots in between the smaller Q4, which we're about to get, and the larger Q8. It's built on the same platform as the Porsche e-Macan, and Audi will no doubt be hoping to conquest some buyers from its German stablemate. Let's have a look at some of the interesting design elements. Audi was keen to stress that this needed to look like an Audi and it needed to look like a regular car. As one Audi staffer told me, they didn't want it to look like a science experiment, and I think in that regard Audi has succeeded. Up front is the single frame grille, which is an Audi signature. Here though, it's not functional, it is purely a design element, and it immediately says Audi. You've got the 4-ring logos here in the new Audi flattened design. They look pretty sharp. The interesting thing about the daytime running lights is that there are 8 individual programs that give you a different light signature. We've had a play through them and they're pretty cool. Around the side you've got these 21-inch alloys here. This is the SQ6 e-tron, the most powerful, sportiest variant. Wheel choices run to 19, 20 or 21 inches depending on the variant. Some blistered wheel arches, which Audi says give it a little bit of extra width on the road, giving it a more aggressive stance. Down the side here is this distinctive e-tron blade, as it's called. It's unique to Audi's e-tron models. Then around the back you've got more blistered wheel arches, and then your charging point. The good thing here is there's one on each side. Now this is the driver's side, which is, I believe, capable of both AC and DC charging, whereas on the other side it's only capable of DC charging. It's a handy feature because, gives you options when you're installing a home charger if that's what you need. Around the back there are a number of horizontal planes, including this light bar, that just give the impression of width, which is important for an SUV like this. It just needs to have presence on the road. Under the powered tailgate, there's a decent sized boot. The seats fold in 40-20-40 fashion to free up a little bit more space. There's also a storage area under the bonnet, as is often the case with the EVs, and it's good for about 65 litres, which that's kind of an overnight bag.
Australia will get 3 variants when the Q6 e-tron arrives in local dealerships early next year. The entry point is the rear-wheel drive Performance, priced from $115,500 before on-road costs. A mid-spec Q6 e-tron Quattro brings 2 electric motors and all-wheel drive and a price tag of $122,500. And the range-topping SQ6 e-tron Quattro you see here brings a 0 to 100 km/h claim of 4.3 seconds and a price tag of $151,400 before on-road costs. All 3 Q6 models are fitted with a 100 kWh battery array that is expected to offer a driving range of around 600 to 625 kilometres depending on the variant, although this is still to be confirmed by Audi Australia. Recharging the battery from 10 to 80% using a supercharger will take around 21 minutes according to Audi. If you're in the market for an electric SUV like this one, or any new or near new car, head on over to Drive Marketplace where you will find thousands of dealer listings. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a like and hit that subscribe button. It really does help us deliver the content you want to see.
Inside, it's textbook Audi, as sort of a functional minimalism. New features include this big single frame widescreen pair of screens. There's an infotainment screen there. It's app-based. It runs Android automotive software, which makes it pretty slick to use. Responsive to inputs. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, as you'd expect. So satellite navigation, digital radio, all the things. A host of the vehicle functions. It's all very app-based, very easy to use, very familiar if you've used your smartphone. In front is Audi's virtual cockpit. It's been updated. It looks slick. It looks professional. It's configurable to taste. You can run navigation, you can run dials, you can run state of charge, all sorts of driving data, whatever you need. Storage options. You got a little, it's not too big, but it's a little storage bin there. You've got this cup holders here hiding under this drawer. Up front is another storage bin, an ashtray. Who has an ashtray these days? Don't smoke in cars, kids. It's bad for resale. You've got a wireless smartphone charging pad. It's a fast charger. I'm not sure what kilowattage, but I believe it's 15 kilowatts. And helpfully, this is a cooled compartment, which keeps your smartphone nice and cool when charging. We've all picked up our phones from a wireless charging pad and gone, that's a bit hot. Materials throughout are beautiful. You've got this Alcantara strip running across here. It runs almost seamlessly into the door. It really does bring the whole thing together. The seats are good. This is the SQ6 wear-in, so you get the quilted sports seats, and there are a choice of around 5 or 6 different colorways you can option. New steering wheel design, flat top and flat bottom. Feels nice. It's got some perforations on the sides here, and you've got these haptic buttons on the steering wheel that affect changes to both the virtual cockpit and the infotainment. And all Australian delivered cars will come standard with this passenger screen here. Now, I'm not really sold on the passenger screen. I don't see the need for it, but if you've got someone who likes to watch YouTube clips while you're driving, then have at it. I can't see it. It's got a privacy screen on it, which means where the driver can't see what's happening there, although they could probably hear if you're watching some stupid cat videos on YouTube. So that's the front. Let's have a look in the second row. The second row is nice and roomy, as you'd hope from an EV. Without the intrusion of a transmission tunnel, there is a slight hump there, but overall space is really good. I've got plenty of toe room down there. As you can see, heaps of knee room, and headroom is good too, despite the presence of this panoramic roof. Amenities, you've got your own separate climate controls down here. The outboard seats, like they are on the front, are heated. That's a nice little touch. Some air vents. There's a couple of cup holders down here in this armrest. And overall, it's just really quite pleasant. Plenty of room to get comfortable and sit back and relax for those longer road trips.
And if you have a friend who you think might find this video useful, be sure to share it with them.
So that's our close look at the Audi Q6 e-tron. We haven't been able to take it for a drive yet. Audi has yet to launch the car officially in Australia, so this early sneak peek is our first taste of what to expect. When we do get the car through the Drive garage, be sure to check out our written reviews.